Things aren't always what they seem.
The new movie Passing, based on a 1929 novella and debuting next week on Netflix, takes a nuanced look at two women navigating minefields of race and identity, yearning and defiance.
She had something that I think I covet, which is an absolute fearlessness to be herself, but lives in a society that cannot and will not accept her as her whole self. She isn't the tragedy. The society that she is born into is.
Its topic, visual style, and powerhouse performances likely to spark Oscar buzz.
Isn't she extraordinarily beautiful?
Passing describes a phenomenon where a person of one racial group is classified or mistaken for another.
Have you ever thought of what you'd do if John found out?
For people of color, subjected to racism and discrimination, choosing to pass as a white person could offer access to a world of privileges. It also meant personal sacrifices and grave risk.
It's not a rejection of your blackness. It's a way to survive. People had to leave their histories behind, leave their families behind, leave their bloodlines behind. But really, that's not possible. It will follow you.
I think so often in the history of American cinema, there's this idea of moralizing the person that decides to pass, that this is something that is bad.
Beloved for her work in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Tessa Thompson is Irene Redfield, part of Harlem's black upper middle class in 1920s New York, wedded to a doctor.
It's easy for a Negro to pass for white. I'm not sure it'd be so simple for a white person to pass for color.
It seems as though your Irene is constantly worried she will lose something.
Yeah, she's a worrywart. She's beginning to think that no one is ever happy, free, or safe. Certainly the treacherous waters of her mind feel rather unsafe, I would say.
An Academy Award nominee for Loving, Ruth Negga is the dazzling Claire Ballou, passing as a white woman, married to a white racist who's unaware of her past.
Claire gives voice, I think, to the unspeakable, to the idea of desiring, wanting things.
A chance reunion with her childhood friend Irene upends both of their lives.
Pardon me, I don't mean to stare, but I think I know you.
Claire?
Why is she drawn in the way that she is to her old friend?
This is her homecoming. The book is a lot about longing for familiarity, for one's people, something that was denied to people who enacted the, I don't know, it's the life severance that is passing.
Oh, of course I know you, Renee. You look just the same. Tell me, do they still call you Renee?
What leads to her demise is her yearning to be in the company of blackness again. That in that way, it's a complicated celebration of the beauty of blackness.
I don't know if she's oblivious to the risks. I don't think so. There's a certain FU as well. Like, you say I can't go there, you say I can't do this, look what I've just done. I kind of admire that, actually, you know, because it's using what's available to you to subvert the system that is quite obviously broken.
You dislike Negroes, Mr. Bellew?
No, not at all. I hate them.
Our film is not just about the ways in which one might pass across the race line. Irene says herself, she says, we're all of us passing for something or other, aren't we? We're privileged to live in a time where our ideas around race, around gender, that there's a cultural conversation around those things being a construct, right?
For actress turned director Rebecca Hall, bringing Passing to the screen involved more than a decade of struggle and a personal connection to the material.
I come from a family where there was passing, where passing made up an awful lot of my family history. My grandfather on my mother's side was African American, and he passed white for most of his life. In fact, he also passed indigenous for a chunk of his life too.
How much did you come to know about him?
My great-grandfather was born enslaved and ended up giving a toast to Frederick Douglass at the White House about the uplift of the race. And that history was entirely hidden from my mother. She didn't even know his name, but now she does.
What's this been like to share with your mother, the film?
I was very nervous about what she was going to think. It's a lot for me to have done, I think. But she watched it and she's enormously proud. And she just said, I feel you have liberated me and my father. And the thing that he could not talk about, we now can.
You're curious, is that it? You can ask me anything you want.
It looks like a film that might have been made in a bygone era. And the truth is, when we were making films like that in Hollywood, we weren't making them with two leads that looked like us. I think what's interesting now is to think of, like, in terms of Hollywood iconography, all the stories that would have been told had more people had access to tell the stories. And that's why, for me, it feels impactful.
Our thanks to Chris. And GMA will have more with director Rebecca Hall tomorrow morning.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.